Alright, so hello everybody. I'm being quite quiet because I'm backstage at a Christmas event at the Four Seasons Hotel, and Santa looks pretty tired. I think he's sleeping, so he's already tired. It's only the 8th of December, so it's going to be a long 3 weeks for him. Anyway, one of the things I haven't done for a little while is offer any amazing tips, and this week I do have two quite fantastic tips. Well, one is really, really good, and the other one is pretty obvious unless you're a bit stupid like me. Okay, so one of the people I haven't ever had a chance to interview is Francois Zanini, who performs as Zani, Z-A-N-I, in Hong Kong, and he's got a wealth of experience, but never managed to tie him down for an interview. But maybe bit by bit I will learn everything about him. I was doing a show with him the other day, and he had a razor in his bag. So you know the theme for this season? What have you got in your bag? Every show he carries a razor, so that if he's looking a bit, well, if you need to shave before the show, he can shave before the show. How cool is that? Yeah, we don't think of these things, you know. After 25 years of doing this, you can start taking a few more shortcuts. So I also, as a white guy working in Hong Kong, get a lot hairier, a lot faster than Asian people. So whilst not carrying a razor with me to the show, I'm not going that far, Zanny, sorry, you are more professional than me, I have to admit. What I'm going to do is every time I'm at home packing for my show, before I leave for my show, I will have a shave, so at least I'm fresh, okay, look good. Yay? What a great tip. And the other tip is, it's really obvious, isn't it? Polish your shoes. I used to always polish my shoes decades ago. Have I polished my shoes in decades since then? No. My shoes are black leather shoes, all purpose for pretty much every stage show. No matter what costume, you can always wear just some plain black leather shoes. That's what I reckon. Well, that's a bit of a tip there, I suppose. Anyway, so yeah, I got black leather shoes. They look great for about 2 weeks, and then they get quite tatty. So yeah, I'm going to buy some shoe polish and polish my shoes before the shows as well. Great tips from Zanny. Alright, let's get back to this week's podcast. Hello and welcome. This week I'm talking to Mervyn Goh from Singapore. Among his many talents, he has worked as a clown, as an MC, as a radio DJ, and also as an actor in a theatre.
You know, I still think back, you know, when we were doing, what's that show? What's
Sparkle Shark. That was one of my questions. Look, here's my question. Does the title Sparkle Shark ring any bells?
It rings more than bells.
It brings back memories of severe overacting by me and what was Zach? Was it Zach?
Yeah, Zach. That's right.
Yeah.
Not just overacting. I had to put on an accent that I had no idea what I was doing.
What was your accent? Was it British?
Well, it had to be British because Brian was very insistent on keeping it British. Right?
Okay.
Which I still don't understand. Like, this
Why?
was set in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right, and to pull it off was like, oh my god, it was like, well, funny things, funny how I ended up marrying an English girl as well, so.
Congratulations.
Yeah, anyhow. Yeah, so you have the article from Sparkle Shark then?
Had the article? No,
Yeah,
I don't have an article.
There was an article, right, that was written about Sparkle Shark, and there was a comment about my accent.
Oh.
So I was playing, Russell, right?
I've got I've got a quote on my website from Sparkle.
Yeah.
I got a good quote. They had my name wrong because I replaced another actor at the last minute.
Yeah, because you replaced Desmond Charles.
But I think it was something like Ben or Desmond Charles and Zach drew the most laughs or something like that. So it's on my website somewhere.
That was good fun. That was fun, my word.
Oh, it was really good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about the Star Trek World Tour? Does that ring?
Oh yeah.
That was
of
me and you
course.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you in the engineering room with me?
No, I was on the bridge. I was Mark Richmond's swing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you were captaining the ship and
Yeah.
ordering the firing of the
missiles. Well, we were supposed to do that, but no one ever turned up to watch it. There were no guests. So we spent most of the time playing cards.
Oh, not just cards. You're teaching guys how to do the Diablo.
Oh yeah, playing juggling.
Unicycling,
Yeah.
juggling, everything but Star Trek, right?
Oh god, that was really good. I tell you what,
That was fun.
It was one of the most fun jobs I ever had because there wasn't too much stress.
Exactly. Yeah, and because we timed it so well, we kind of knew when people were going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had time to go read the magazine, and then I think under Mark Richmond's seat there was some female magazine or some Cleo magazine.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was poking out from the cushion seat.
Yes. And you could hear the guests arriving, so you knew when you had to get ready.
Exactly. Oh my word!
Okay.
Go ahead.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, the Star Trek World Tour was when someone decided, I guess in Hollywood, to build a replica model of the USS Enterprise.
Yep.
And take it to different event halls around the world. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty cool. You go in as a guest and you go through sort of a guided tour on sort of a story happening as you go through the tour. There were people like me and you as the actors playing the roles of an attack on the Enterprise. And the only problem was when they got to Singapore, they hadn't realised that Star Trek wasn't on television. No one really knew about it, and no one turned up to see it.
Well, yeah. Initially, no one turned up to see it, but there were some serious Trekkie fans.
Oh, there was a Star Trek fan club who were really into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what I remember very fondly was the uniforms that they'd given us.
Yes.
They were made to fit.
Yes, they were. We had our own perfect Star Trek uniform.
There you go.
Yeah, it was really good fun.
It was good fun. And then you were, of course, you were in the bridge, and I was in the engineering room with the warp core. And if you're a Trekkie fan, the warp core was a place that you had to come and see.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
The warp drive.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Sparkle Shark was a play we were both in at the Drama Centre in Singapore. Because one of the strange things about Singapore when I was there was the acting circle was quite small, and it was quite easy, even if you didn't have much experience, to get a role in a play.
Yep.
If you were available office hours, Monday to Friday for rehearsals, and you liked performing, you could get on stage in a proper theatre. Yeah,
that's right. That was good fun. Of course, that play was written by Philip Ridley, right?
Yes, I think it was.
Right?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm just talking. I'm making it up.
Yeah, but I remember because you and Zachary, you were the two slapstick. You were the comedic element in the show.
Oh, we were the overactors. Trust me.
Yeah. And I was playing Russell, the love muscle.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and of course, that was the play where we got involved in what's that? We used percussion instruments, all the things on the rooftop.
Oh yeah, we were banging stuff.
Like Stomp.
Yeah,
like
we
Stomp,
were.
Right?
Yeah, because Stomp was kind of in vogue at the time, so we did a long version of Stomp. Oh, that's great.
That was good fun. Made things on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had to snog one of the actors, right?
Oh yes. Who was it? Was it one of the TV actresses from Singapore?
Remember Chia Swan?
Chia Swan, yes.
Chia Swan is based in UK now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's got two children.
Well, if you ever hear from her, say hello from me.
Yeah, I will. So suddenly all this is coming back because you brought up the title.
Yeah.
This is Meet the Entertainers, and I am Big Ben. Now, each episode takes a surprisingly large number of hours to edit, re-edit, listen to, throw in the bin and start again. So, if you are getting something out of this series, here are 3 things you can do. Number one, you can financially support this podcast by going to www.thebigbenshow.com/podcasts and making a financial donation of any amount you like. Number two, subscribe or share these podcasts or give me a good review on iTunes. And thirdly, get in touch. I'm always looking for more people to interview. My email is ben@thebigbenshow.com.
So I had to play this so-called businessman in the 80s, right? And I was talking about the river, how it's transformed. And then I actually had like many lines.
Yeah.
I only said 2 lines.
What?
I only said 2 lines and then blank.
Oh no!
I went blank, you know? So I looked up at the lights, I looked at the wings, and I was hoping that my actors would feed me a line.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes good friends do that, right?
Yeah.
But you know what they're doing? They're all laughing, going,
you. For those of you who can't see, because the podcast is audio, they're all mouthing and laughing that you've forgotten your lines.
exactly. And they were doing like, yay, you're the man, you forgot your lines. So I looked very calm. I looked around as if like it was my intent to just say those 2 lines.
Yeah.
And I walked off.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And that was into its, I think it's 15th show.
So you should have been really confident with your lines.
You know, you just have, you know, as actors, you know, you just have to stand your ground, and as long as you look intentful,
Yeah.
you know, like you know what you're saying, you just leave it to the audience to think, what's the meaning?
Yeah. Well, that actually is a very good tip for performers. Always act as if it's exactly what's supposed to happen, and no one will know.
And no one will ever know. You're right.
I was doing a corporate show for Samsung with Cynthia Macquarie.
Yes, my co-host as well.
There you are, yeah. And I forgot my lines halfway through the presentation, that I had done many times before every day. Like for about 10 a.m. I do it, 11 a.m. I do it, 12 p.m. I do it. And halfway through I just forgot. It was quite hard though, because there was all these Samsung numbers during like the Samsung SW57237. It was quite tricky. So all I did was I just pretended I had a big coughing fit. So I just started coughing, and Cynthia came up and patted me on the back and took over.
And she remembered your lines then?
I think she remembered everything, yeah. She was very good at it.
Oh, wow. Actually, speaking of Cynthia, Cynthia was also in the show Star Trek with us.
Yes, she was. Yes, he was.
Right?
Yeah.
And I believe she was also in the engineering room.
Ah.
And I actually have a funny story about her now that you mentioned her name, right? Alright, so when we were doing Star Trek, we timed the show to perfection so that we knew that we had time to have a drink, have a game of cards, to the point where we knew when the door was just about to open and we get into position.
Yeah.
Right. So during one of the shows, right, Cynthia said she needed to go to the ladies, as all actors do.
Yeah.
So we all went. She went to the ladies, and then we were all getting ready to welcome our guests, right? And then the guest came in, and of course Cynthia was late.
Yeah.
So she slipped in by the side door, right, and just stood there. Yeah. And of course, when people looked at her, she was smiling at them, and they were having this very funny look on their face.
Yeah.
And I could not understand why, because Cynthia was not saying anything, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized, you know how our costumes work?
Zipping up at the front. Yeah?
She did not zip up fully.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
So we had to tell her, like, as we spoke to her, we just threw her to one corner and go, your zip is down.
Oh dear.
I don't think she remembers this one.
Yeah.
So she's currently touring right now. She's doing something about the story of 2 Koreas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's touring. I think she's in Paris or yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Cynthia for you. And of
That's
course, she was
brilliant.
my co-host on the TV show as well. I was doing a science program,
Yeah.
yeah, called The Big Q.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she was season 1, my co-host for season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had lots of laughs together, really.
That's brilliant. And I must just quickly apologise to anyone who's listening. I often say actress because I'm very old-fashioned. I should say actor even for female actors.
Same.
Yeah, but I just fall into it. Because when I was a kid at school in the 1980s, it was actors and actresses. And
Yes.
I'm sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
To all
sorry.
the actors listening.
Actors.
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 All right. So after the funny stories, which is great, I do my little introduction. So here it is. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
I should be good at this. I shouldn't forget my lines. So I've done this 97 times. Your podcast number 98.
Oh, brilliant. All right. If
Okay.
you forget anything, just cough.
Okay, so this is Big Ben on Meet the Entertainers. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And to keep my costs down, not every single episode, as I'm sure you know, Mervyn, is not necessarily available as a downloadable podcast because this is a free podcast. But
Okay.
but if you want to listen to, I've interviewed plenty of people from Singapore. So if you want to listen to someone else from Singapore, John Heron's down there. If you want to listen to one of my podcasts, they are still all available on my website, thebigbenshow.com/podcasts. All right, so that will keep you very, very interested for about 98 hours of listening. All right, this week I'm talking to Mervyn Goh. Yay!
Hey!
Mervyn, you're from Singapore.
Yes.
And to become an actor, performer, a show host is, I guess, quite an unusual career choice. How did you get started?
Well, I guess from when I was much younger, I used to watch a lot of shows involving Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis is actually one of my idols.
yeah.
Yeah. So I liked his comedy and I
Yeah.
liked the way. Yeah, exactly. So one thing led to another. I tried to audition for school plays and TV shows and all that in the early Singapore days, but
Yeah.
obviously I didn't get any of the roles. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, right. And then after going to uni, that's where I found my niche.
Oh.
Because not many people know, but I'm actually a counseling psychologist by training.
Sorry. What? A counselling.
Psychologist by training.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But came back to Singapore and became a clown. It's really funny, yeah. So I was doing a lot of that, and then I joined Act 3.
So you became a clown, but
Yeah.
what do you mean? You just arrived back in Singapore from university
Yeah.
and said, "I'm a clown," and there were shopping events, shopping malls. or what?
What happened was Act 3 had an opening,
Ah.
yeah, and I had a friend who was working there who asked me, "Hey, do you do things like this, like clowning around?" And all that? I said, I guess that's my life, actually.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
just for people who are listening overseas, Act 3 is a drama company.
The first children's theatre company.
Ah, there you are, the first children's theatre company in Singapore. So you got a job with them.
I got a job with them, not an acting role, but
Oh.
more of a talent.
Okay.
So clown with learning how to put on the makeup,
Okay.
right? And then wearing funny, colorful costumes.
So what kind? So not acting, but so what were you doing? You were on stage.
Basically, mingling talent.
Oh, mingling talent. I see. Yes.
Yeah. So mingling talent is someone who's like, perhaps like you're at a shopping mall,
Yes.
and then you whip out a balloon and you give it to passerbys.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Smile at them, make them laugh, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And that was quite a big thing in Singapore in the 1990s, wasn't it? There was loads
Correct.
of work.
Because there are not many clowns or talents like that back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started doing that, and then finally, a couple of months later, they gave me a role in a show called The Invisible Man.
Okay.
That was my first play.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
The
my
first
play.
one.
Yeah. So of course my parents were thinking, I've sent my son to the university. He's obviously going through a phase at the moment. So let him go through his phase, and then once he's contented, he'll start to do something in the corporate world.
Yeah.
But
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen. At the age of 30, my parents saw me acting in a show called Army Days.
I remember that, yes.
Yeah, Army Days. Michael Chiang's wrote that play, Army Days, and then they realized that, I don't think it's a phase anymore. So that's what I do. Yeah, but not full time though. As you know, in Singapore, you can't afford to become an actor full time.
No, not an actor.
Yeah.
You can do corporate work though, and all kinds of corporate stuff to supplement your income and help pay your rent.
Of course. But over the years, I've done so many different things, but all in media. So after the clown stint at Act 3, I went to radio. Yeah, so I was a radio producer, presenter, or a DJ on radio.
Yeah.
For about 2 years.
Wow.
And still auditioning for plays that, if I had the time, I would do it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then radio was fun because that's where I discovered the use of my voice.
Ah.
Yeah. So from radio, you end up doing voiceovers.
Voiceovers, yes.
Yeah. So that is what I do as well. Voiceovers for corporate radio and TV commercials.
If you type in Mervyn Goh into the internet, Mervyn Goh Singapore, you get two things. You get Mervyn Goh Imagine Arts, and below that you get Mervyn Goh voiceover artist. Those are the two things that pop up straight away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well that's what popped up on my search engine when I googled it. Those two things were the top two.
Yeah. So radio was fun. I got to meet celebrities.
Yeah.
And actually, I got to meet the Spice Girls, all 5 of them.
Wow, in the 1990s when they were really, really major.
Their first hit was the Wannabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that song, and they came to the studio.
Wow.
And I was sitting with them.
Gosh.
Yeah, and they were all very, very nice girls. Very nice girls.
That's major.
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So at least I could say that they were all still together before everything else happened.
Yeah. After radio, what was the next thing?
After radio, I did television.
And how come you left radio?
Because the pay was terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I felt that I think my talent could be best used elsewhere.
Yeah.
I auditioned for several TV shows. Didn't get the main part until what was then known as Kid Central or Premier 12.
Yes, TV channel in Singapore.
Yeah. I auditioned for a show. This show was written by a guy named Rufus Bellamy.
What?
His father was Dr. David Bellamy.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah, there was a show called Don't Ask Me, the science program.
Yeah.
I don't know if that rings a bell. So that was his dad, right?
Yeah.
So Rufus was based in Singapore, and he was writing a show for a local science program. Yeah, so being a science student in my school years, I auditioned for the part.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was the script was written in a very English way.
Okay.
Meaning the jokes were a bit too... I don't think the kids would have understood that.
That's right. Singapore English and English very different.
And the humor is different as well.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so what happened was Rufus asked me, if you had to do it your way, how would you present it? So, see, that's one of the fun things of becoming an actor. You get to improvise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I improvised, and I got the role. Yeah. Wow. And then what happened was the co-host was Cynthia McQuarrie.
Small world.
Yeah. So she auditioned as well. She got the role, and we were paired together.
Yeah.
We did 13 episodes of the first season of The Big Q.
Yeah.
It was basically a science show teaching kids about science and how it's applied in everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, there were days where, for example, Sunoco power plant. Where I had to sit inside the power plant. And no one ever gets a chance to see what the inside of a power plant looks like.
Yeah.
Right? So we did all those kind of fun things. That one episode, I was thrown into the sea, right, waving for help, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was quite novel in those days because I don't think a lot of actors were willing to take that kind of chance.
Yeah.
I just did it because I thought it was fun.
Brilliant. Good for you.
Yeah. And then after its first season, that show picked up the Gold Award in New York.
In New York?
Yeah, for the best in that category. The New York
Wow.
Festivals, that's what it was called. New York Festivals.
Wow. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So I felt, wow, not too bad. Not too bad
And
for
TV in those days, TV programs were still, people still watch TV. I mean, nowadays, people don't watch.
cable.
Yeah,
Cable.
yeah. Nowadays, people
Yeah.
watch the internet, or at most, it's cable. But in those
Yeah.
days, I mean, I remember being in Singapore in the 90s, and when that magazine came out, 8 Days,
Yes.
everybody
Which
bought
is-
it. It was the TV guide, and everybody bought it. And if you were on the front cover or anything, you were like big news in Singapore.
I didn't appear on the cover, but I was featured in one of the pages.
There you are. Yeah, so you were
Yeah.
big news in Singapore. Everybody bought that magazine. Everybody watched
Yeah.
TV. And there you are. I'll pat you on the back.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
That was good fun. That was great fun.
That's
really.
brilliant.
Yeah. And of course, that show, The Big Q, went on for another 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that started to open doors as well.
Oh, yes.
From TV, I started going to school for school road shows. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So I was representing different corporates and teaching kids about, say for example, you drink Vitagen,
Yes.
yeah, the good and bad bacteria.
Yes.
Yeah, so kids had to understand, and of course, traveling to schools was pretty fun for me as well. It's
Yeah,
kind of
I did one school thing for the Health Promotion Board. You did some for the Health
Yes.
Promotion Board. And they basically pay for it and get masses and masses of bookings. And
Yep.
almost every day, early in the morning or assembly time or something,
7:30.
7:30 a.m. Every
Yep.
day for years, you'd
Yep.
be doing a show in school.
Yeah, and
And-
if you're a freelance actor, that is useful for us.
It's just regular, steady work, day
Exactly.
after day, year after year. I did one called Jack and the Juggling Giant by the Health
Okay.
Promotion Board, and
Yep.
I had to juggle with healthy foods
Yep.
on stilts. And it ran for about 2 or 3 years, I think, really long.
There you go. And for us, that was what you say was regular pay. It was like a salary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had the time, you still manage your own time, you could still pick up other gigs because that was early in the morning.
I know. By 8 a.m. you'd finished the show.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually, come to think of it, I actually met you way before when I was hosting shows.
Yeah, you do show hosting as well. You do a lot of
Yeah.
hosting, don't you?
Yeah. So I was doing a lot of show hosting, and then I meet lots of different talents like yourself, and then we kept bumping to each other,
Yeah.
right? And then just gradually, automatically you just become friends, right?
Yes.
It's such a small industry after all.
It is a small industry in Singapore. It definitely is.
Yeah.
You get to know everybody. You do.
Yeah. And then from show hosting, it just went at shopping malls, and then slowly for corporate events, and you just find yourself in that circuit.
Has the market changed at all? Because when I was there, I think it has. When I was there, for a few years, every shopping centre used to put on
Yeah.
these massively noisy shows of an MC playing silly stage games,
Yeah.
and the MC taking
Yeah.
a break, and someone coming on and doing a half-hour clown show.
Yeah, that still happens. But now, the number of talents we have, it's jumped so much now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because of that, since the clients have more choices to choose somebody else,
Yes.
you don't obviously become the first choice, because at the end of the day, it's all about
The money, how
the money
expensive
as
you
well.
are.
Yeah, because you always think that with experience, you should be able to command a higher wage, right?
But it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, clients always look at their bottom line,
Yeah.
right? If they say, I can get for someone who can do it for half the price, that's what they'll normally do. I cannot guarantee what the show is going to turn out, but you just have to stick to your guns,
Yes, brilliant.
right?
And just to finish off this segment, I'd like to find out how you see your career in the next 10 years, 20 years.
Well, being a freelance actor or owner or entertainer like myself, I think you cannot just focus on just hosting or becoming a clown or becoming a talent.
Yeah.
So over the years, you've picked up different skills. I mean, like voiceovers have gotten a bit better. And then I also picked up a new hobby.
I was going to ask you about this. It was my question.
Yeah.
When and where did you learn to play the ukulele?
I first saw someone playing the ukulele almost like 12 years ago in Perth.
Yeah.
So I bought my first ukulele and then brought it back to Singapore and didn't touch it for about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it felt like a novelty. It felt good.
Yeah.
And then I saw someone playing Bohemian Rhapsody on the ukulele.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not the strumming. It was finger picking.
Ooh.
And I was blown away. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, sounds interesting now. So I decided to learn how to play it properly.
Oh, play a little bit. Play a little bit. This is a podcast,
Okay,
so we'll be able to hear you. Whoa!
So I taught myself how to play the ukulele.
You taught yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. By looking at YouTube videos online? How?
Well, YouTube, and because I used to play the guitar,
Ah, okay.
I sort of cheated in the beginning by trying to play guitar chords on the ukulele.
Okay.
Yeah. But the chord figuration is still pretty much the same. Strumming is the same.
Right.
And then I started playing bossa nova music,
Right.
and then watched YouTube, studied it carefully, had master classes with the people who came to Singapore.
Yeah.
And now I perform, I play, I use this as a team bonding activity as well.
Wow.
So I teach managers, executives how to play the ukulele because team bonding requires lots of listening.
Okay.
And when you play music, you need to learn how to listen together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you can play together, it means that you're all in sync, and that's the team bonding element.
So this question began with what you're doing in the next 10 years or so. You're doing
Yeah.
more and more corporate at the moment.
I'm just adding more stuff inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do corporate workshops, team bonding with ukulele.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the
team
things.
bonding. Team bonding is one thing, and then I started. I do something in financial literacy for kids as well.
Financial literacy.
Yeah.
Wow,
Because basically the whole topic about saving and spending.
Yeah.
And I think in Singapore, when I was much younger, we had a show where there's a squirrel involved, POSB show.
Mm-hmm.
And with all the songs and all the good messaging, you tend to remember some of the values.
Yeah.
You don't remember all of it, but of course, saving and spending, and that's something that's very common in Singapore.
Yeah.
I just think that kids today need to understand the value of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to appreciate it. And of course, we run a program where I do a presentation on learning how to save and spend wisely. It's not just saving and spend; you have to spend it wisely. And then I work with a technology startup company,
Okay.
and we use augmented reality.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's twofold. I do the presentation, and then the kids get to play a game, right, using
Yeah.
an iPad. And of course, they scan a code, and an augmented reality animation appears. And then it's followed by questions. They say, for example, handphones, latest gadgets are all considered. Is it needs or wants?
Right.
Yeah. So from there, the kids get to play a game, and then they earn virtual money. Yeah. So for every correct answer, they earn, say, $20.
And who is your client for this? Who are your customers paying for this?
It can be schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. The schools is a huge market. Sometimes it's corporate clients as well, because I also cater to an event called Take Your Child to Work Day.
Mm-hmm.
Because while the kids appreciate, what their parents do at work, I think it's also good to inculcate values like that as a fringe activity.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been like that for a while now. And of course, the latest buzzword, I'm sure you heard of fintech, right?
No.
Okay, so fintech is the way, it's kind of like how payments are done through using your smartphone.
Okay.
You just have to tap, and then the payment is done.
Yeah, I get people paying me through my smartphone, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's financial technology, fintech.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that is going to be big within the next couple of years because you can do seamless bank transactions.
Mm-hmm.
You can even get funding from using fintech as well. So I was representing the Monetary Authority of Singapore at the fintech festival.
It sounds so serious.
No. I mean, I guess. Well, entertainment is one thing, but the only difference I did was I brought the ukulele along.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hosting. I think I'm the only host with the ukulele.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying basically is, in the long term, you just keep your options open and you keep on looking for new things to do, new ways, new kinds of customers, new things you can offer. Yeah. Just keep on having new ideas.
And I try to spread the love of music because music is a life skill.
Yeah.
And you take it anywhere. You can take it anywhere.
Brilliant. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end that part. That's really good. Okay, the part 3 of this amazing podcast. This will be edited slightly, but I'd like to really go through something specific, a specific job or gig, maybe one you've done recently, or maybe one you're really proud of, and just kind of go through it stage by stage, in detail, right from how you find the client, how you prepare, until when you're on stage and what you do if things go wrong. Something.
Okay.
So let me do the question. So, Mervyn Goh, can we go through thank you. Can we go through one of your jobs or one of your gigs, stage by stage, to get to learn some real information about how your life goes?
I guess the most important thing is whatever jobs you do, always give your 110%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first thing because if you do a good job, there's no reason why they wouldn't want to hire you the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay humble, very important. Because, say for example, if you are hosting a show, always remember that the host is not the star of the show.
Right. Yes.
The show itself is the star. Yeah. Always greet the people that you meet at a show. So, for example, if you're coming for a live event, get to know your sound tech crew.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, because they can make or break your show. If you come across as arrogant, they could be nasty and accidentally turn off the mic volume.
Yeah, you want them on your side, so that they're gonna do everything they can to make your part on stage look good.
Of course,
and sound
good.
good.
And it's also very important that, because it's not just you that's getting the show done, it's a teamwork. Always remember teamwork. Even though you're the voice, but you still require a lot of people in the background to make the show successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give me some specific stuff then? So, always give 110%. So, I think I've heard that before. It's very good if the client books you for this, but you actually bring this and this. You bring something extra. Like sometimes a client will book me for a show.
Yep.
And I'll do my show, but I'll also add in my giant balloon act just as a surprise. Climb inside the giant balloon.
Always add value.
Yeah.
Add value for your client because
Can you give an example? Can you give an example of something you've done?
So, say for example, the latest show that I did was for the fintech industry.
Right. This fintech. Yeah.
So my clients did not know me at all.
Mm-hmm.
They only saw me once. And they felt very comfortable with the way I presented. They thought it was novel. They liked the way I sounded.
Yes.
Over the microphone. Yeah. So they asked me, "Would you be interested to help us host our show?" So I was like, "Yeah, of course I would." I've always been wanting to meet different clients and try different things.
Mm-hmm.
And if fintech industry is also fairly new. Right?
Yeah.
For the lay person, it's fairly new, and it'd be good for me to introduce it as a lay person as well. I don't have to be an expert in everything. Yeah. But you learn as you go, but that's what we call lifelong journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I said I was available, and then they said, "Yep, we'll get back to you." And so I waited, and of course the call came through and said, "I'm sorry, we can't use you this time because we didn't have a budget for it." I'm like, oh, "Okay,
Okay.
not a problem. This happens, you know.
Yeah.
If the budget's not available, maybe next time then."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this went on until like 3 days before the show. The same client calls me back.
3
And
days
she goes-
before the show.
Yeah, and she says, "Hey, you know what? We managed to have a budget. Are you willing to do the show?" So of course I am. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, and I'll do one even better. I'll bring my ukulele along. And he said, "Oh, fantastic! We wanted to ask you to do that." And so I said, "But don't worry, that's my style." Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So always add value for a client, and yeah, I guess the show went pretty well. Everyone had good feedback.
So what
on
you're
me.
saying is, you weren't just going to host just by talking. You said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring along the ukulele
Yeah.
as well, extra for free.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And don't always try to compartmentalize your job scope. Don't just say, "Oh, my job is just to make announcements.
Yeah.
I will not do anything else." Yeah, because I think in today's landscape work environment, you just need to be open to different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just try it. You can't say, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with that," but you haven't done it. Then how would you know?
So what other things do you do? Say you turn up and you're supposed to be just the host, but they need you to do something else. What other things
Yeah.
have you been asked to do?
Say for example, so can you like do a trick in between because we need to entertain the guests for a bit? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So for example, the ukulele came in handy because like one of the speakers was a bit late, right?
So you come on stage to fill the time with ukulele.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I play a couple of songs. I even taught the audience how to play it,
Yeah.
and they go away feeling like, hey, you know what? I learned something new today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
what kind of microphone do you like to use? Do you have any special requirements? Especially with a ukulele on stage?
Yeah, if I'm playing the ukulele, then I'll try to ask for a headset. But the good thing is that because I have a portable amplifier,
Ah,
I can slip it onto my belt.
okay.
Yeah, and yeah, you can just play it as loud as you want.
So you've got... Yes, okay, you need a headset microphone because you need hands-free. So you
I
can
need
play a
hands-free,
ukulele,
yeah.
yes.
Yep.
And what do you mean by a portable amplifier? What is that amplifying? Is that amplifying from your voice microphone?
No, it's for the ukulele.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the microphone is picking up the ukulele's acoustics and broadcasting it.
No, there is a plug-in from the ukulele
Oh.
that goes into the amplifier.
Okay, see, I know
Whereas-
nothing about music, so this is all new to
No,
me.
well, because if I'm wearing the headset,
Yeah.
that's already linked to the main sound system.
Yes.
Yeah. So it
Okay.
just keeps my hand free. But sometimes I get the audience involved. I get them to become my microphone stand. They just
Hold it for
they
you.
they just hold it for me. And most of them are game because they know it's kind of fun.
Yeah. But if
Yeah.
you've got so you've got a ukulele and it
Yeah.
plugs into a portable mic on your waistband.
Yes.
A portable amplifier.
Amplifier, yeah.
Is that so? That's loud enough to be heard in a function room.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
brilliant! That's
And
fantastic.
you don't want to be too loud, especially if you're at a conference because there are other booths around as well.
I see.
so,
Yeah.
so just enough for your audience to hear.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
How do you finish when you've done all your work for the night?
Yep. Thank everybody. Thank the organizers. Thank the sound crew. Yeah, because like I said, it's a team thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're also building relationships, and all these relationships are great because someone will remember you
Exactly.
in a year's time and say,
Exactly.
"Oh yeah, that guy was nice. Let's give him a call or something."
Yep. Yep. Oh, I remember so and so because he's the one playing the ukulele. Let's get in touch with him.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, you also said you try to say hello to the sound crew and the technical staff and
Yep.
get them on your side.
Well, not just get on. I think it's just basic courtesy.
Just being nice, just being friendly,
Yeah.
basic courtesy.
Yeah. You don't have to think you're a big shot just because you're hosting a show. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all there to make a living, right?
Yeah. I used to always have a big box of chocolates and I used to have like what they called like kind of oatmeal bars for energy. But I'd also offer them around to the technical crew before I went on stage.
Yeah.
And it's just nice. Yeah, just try to be friendly.
Course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's a specific show.
Mm-hmm.
And here's some of my random questions, which I don't know how I fit in. Okay. Mervyn Goh, random questions. What is in your bag? Oh, actually, I should have primed you for this.
What's in my bag? Okay.
So when I do shows, there's certain things that I always carry with me, and some of them are quite random. And it's like at the moment I always carry some Vaseline because my hands get a bit cracked sometimes in the dry weather, which we have in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Another guy always carries a razor because his beard grows really fast and he likes to shave before each show.
Okay.
So he looks clean shaven.
Okay.
So my question is there anything that you always carry around with you when you're doing a show? Maybe your ukulele.
Yeah, if my ukulele is always handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got my ukulele. I've got the strap to hold onto the ukulele. Yeah. Sometimes in my bag I just put in because I started doing a bit of magic as well.
Oh yes, I always have a thumb tip in my pocket, no matter what I'm doing. I have a plastic thumb tip and a handkerchief always, every single show.
I carry cards and ropes.
There you are.
Yeah, because you never know when you're gonna need it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Random question number 2. A drunken guy comes up to you in a bar and he says, "What do you do for a living, mate? What do you do? What do you tell them? What do you tell them is your job? Because it's a bit hard to describe."
Well, if you tell them you're a clown, I think that's the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, just tell them I'm a clown, I entertain, and I also play the ukulele.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like a song? Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about. This is just totally random stuff off the internet. We've done the big Q. Tell me about why didn't I think of that? What was that?
Why did I think of that? Okay, it was a show about brain teasers.
Oh yeah.
So say for example, Mary's mother has 3 children. The first one is April. The second one is May. What's the name of the third child?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. So these are puzzles that it was kind of good fun. I was hosting it with Zach. Yeah, and then we had a chance to go into the streets and then ask members of the public as well. And I mean, they learn a thing or two as well. And some of these trick questions, you actually, some people use them for training.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
But fun. The thing, when I don't know whether you've heard this. If you become an actor, they always tell you to avoid 2 areas: children and
animals.
Yeah. Right? You remember people telling you that?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that I love these 2 areas.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And that's how I think I got started as well. Because now I think back, even before the big Q, right?
Yeah.
I was working on a show called Zoo TV.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I got a chance to go to the zoo and then get to find out more about the different animals in the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like working with children and animals because I like it when things go wrong. Yeah. And I like the total chaos that ensues. I think it's great when everything goes wrong. I love it.
Yeah, and of course a tip that you need to let your listeners know: what happens when things go wrong?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I always believe in just go with the flow, pretend it's all part of the act.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's not planned, just have fun, life's too short,
Yeah. The stage is on fire, you fell into the swimming pool before the show. Just carry on. It's meant to be like this. You see, my wet costume can help put out the fire on the stage. It's all part of the show.
There you go. There's always ways of getting around things.
Oh, fantastic. Mervyn, really good to talk to you. Really good.
Likewise. It's amazing sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, Mervyn,
Yes.
I've done something. I've forgotten something very important. That I had to put in the podcast.
Sure.
If people want to contact you and find out more about the amazing Mervyn Goh, what's the best way to check you out online? What websites and things?
I have a website. Just go to Imagine Arts. IMAGINARTS.
.com?
.org.
.org. There you are.
Yeah.
And
I think you'll see everything there.
Then they can find out about you. Brilliant. Now, to keep my costs down, not every single episode is available as a downloadable podcast all the time. But they are all available on my website, thebigbenshow.com/podcasts. And if, like me, you are fascinated by all the performers, all the tips and all the resources mentioned in this podcast, and you want to learn more, then go to thebigbenshow.com/podcasts. There you will find detailed show notes for every single episode, as well as the occasional photo and video.